Did you hear about the bounty on the 10K bounty on death row chains?
Did.
Said the Puffy had a $75,000 warrant out for anybody that could bring them a real death row medallion.
In the constantly evolving storyline surrounding the mysterious Tupac M case, a new and unexpected development has surfaced. A former detective with deep involvement in the investigations into the deaths of Tupac and Biggie has put forth a theory that links these tragic incidents. This theory revolves around a shared element, Diddy. The question that arises is why Diddy might have had a motive to harm both of them. The motive itself is shocking and disturbing.
Puffy and Bad Boy was doing a video. They was paying anyone to bring back a death row chain.
That's when it really got serious.
It is a common belief among people that Diddy allegedly got Tupac and Biggie K'd for a death row chain.
Daddy Love, show us some love.
Compton-based Crip Keefe D was recently arrested for the murder of Tupac Shakur. Right after the arrest, the conspiracy theories went crazy. Was P. Diddy involved? And I stumbled upon this podcast, Dialogue of Art on YouTube. Keefe D, does Keefe D sound like he confessing?
Gene Deal complaining about you. I'm complaining about you. You ain't. I heard one of my homies from 30s. I heard he get every quarter he get clothes, all this. Then you gave this other dude some a brand new Benzo or Maybach, another piece of the record company. God damn, homie. I was on top of the world till I met your motherfucker ass, dude. She's wrong, dude. Come on, homie. I need something. Throw a dog a bone or something. Sit up there talking about you, Daddy Love. Show us some love.
Does Keefe D sound like he's asking P. Diddy to be paid back for his involvement in the murder? Leave something in the comments. Let me know. Do y'all feel like P. Diddy was involved in this? Do y'all feel like it's a conspiracy theory, or you feel like
a lot of you don't know about this because it's been hidden. All this is fake. Everything's been hidden. Everything that you know is a lie. We wasn't messing with nobody. These folks were so jealous, they figured out a way to get a plane and drop bombs on us.
I'm tired of this shit. They burnt me. They just gonna sit here and be a broke nigga, no money, talking about the same shit we was talking about 100 years ago. And I'm not doing that.
Do you want to know why I'd rather become an online closer and make thousands of dollars a week selling for other companies instead of starting my own? It's because I can make more as a closer while...
How you doing, Shug? Hey. Smoking your stove? I like that, man.
Everybody know one thing about me. I don't care any Hollywood, any on the streets, especially Hollywood rappers.
Yeah.
We get our paperwork.
Yeah.
See what all we ever been arrested for. I guarantee you, there's never been nothing for me but straight real and violence.
Ain't no, you ain't snitching.
I ain't never in my life told. You know, I'm the mother when people ask me if I know who killed Tupac, and not saying Tupac dead or alive, I'm saying if they ask me if I know who killed Tupac, I'm the said, hey, absolutely not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No.
I don't get down like that. One thing people got to realize, it's mother born and raised out here.
Yeah.
You both respect the mother who live out here.
Yeah.
Because right now we got a lot of out-of-towners living out here, and they ain't saying nothing about it.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll have a 90 mother walk down the street and said Suge Knight killed Tupac. When everybody know off the top, I ain't the nigga killed Tupac, I'm the nigga protected Tupac.
Yeah.
But at the same time, bitch ass Puffy can give him a mother star, and every rat in the world said he didn't want to kill Tupac.
Yeah.
Or had him shot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you notice, it was a rat on television saying he didn't want to get the shooting, this happened, that happened, this happened, that happened, right?
Right.
If you think about it, right?
Right.
Why you think nobody been arrested if they said they didn't want to kill Tupac?
Because they're snitching to the police, so they ain't gonna get arrested.
Not just to snitch and be smart, son. Because Tupac not
ain't
dead.
as smart as you should be.
Tupac not dead. If he was dead, they'd be arresting those dudes for murder. You know he's somewhere smoking a Cuban cigar on the island somewhere.
Right now.
You know what I mean?
Now it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there, with all due respect. But I appreciate you as a journalist asking. Thank you.
Because you listen, 7 years ago, I'd have been like, yo, did you hire somebody to kill Pac? But no, you do it like a journalist.
Yeah. No, I mean, we wouldn't even get into nonsense like that. You know what I'm saying? It's nonsense.
Which we never believed, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Puff Daddy. The same people that Puffy, Biggie, and Bad Boy was using as protection when they came to LA it's the same people that just happened to get into a fight with Tupac in Vegas.
Yep.
To me, man, that's a hell of a coincidence,
Right.
man. I don't know about that yet.
I don't think anything is coincidental. Why would you tell the littlest in the crew that these are the guys who took my chain? Is over there on the other side of the casino by the elevators. Why you ain't go tell Suge? Why you didn't tell one of the bouncers, one of the securities, one of the bodyguards? Did anybody ever question him? Why you gonna tell the man who make all the money for us? That's a setup. They was setting that boy up, man. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Me and Puffy, we was friends. So understand one thing. The streets, when you're known as the best, you become a trophy. Everybody wants the trophy.
Would you like to come play?
I love plugins. Nice.
That's sorry. She robbed me of everything, and if I die of colon cancer, it's on her. J. Lulu's team has officially hired bots because my
Kylie Marissa Roth is dead days after exposing Oprah and Diddy. Now, many believe that it was Diddy who did it. Check out her scoops on the whole Diddy situation.
You guys, this blind item from 2008 literally says Diddy did it. That's it. The Los Angeles Times reported yesterday that Sean Combs basically started the entire East Coast, West Coast rap war by masterminding the assault on Tupac Shakur in New York City back in 1994. You guys remember, I can't think of his name right now, the guy who's in prison and in 2023 started running his mouth about Diddy's involvement in all of this stuff and how he's like, I'm innocent. From the time of the assault until his death, Tupac had always said that Combs knew about the 1994 shooting. Now, the Times has several sources who corroborated that story. Notorious B.I.G. was also one of the people behind the assault, according to the newspaper. This story is a lie, Combs said in a statement on Monday. It is beyond ridiculous and is completely false. That's exactly what he said about all of the allegations that he settled with Cassie for. Neither Biggie nor I had any knowledge of any attack before, during, or after it happened. Well, if it is a lie, then I'm sure Mr. Combs will be filing a lawsuit against the Times now, won't he? If you are ever going to file a lawsuit for libel, this is the one to do it on, because right now there are millions of people all over the world who will now be 100% convinced that not only did Combs plan the assault on Tupac, but they must have had something to do with it. Is unaliving. Diddy has always fancied himself the kingpin of his own little world. Let's not forget his little altercation with Pew Pews and J-Lo a few years ago, which has come to light recently, and how that was basically the end for them. They were fake anyway, according to Kim Porter. I've always thought of Diddy as a pompous a-hole who thinks he's some kind of godfather when in actuality he's a little punk. Look, Tupac wasn't perfect, but he also didn't claim to be anyone or anything that he wasn't. That's so true. Just because he didn't want to sign with Combs, the punk didn't mean he needed to be shot. That's why I never knew that's why this whole time.
Nobody never knew.
This whole time, Tupac was like, I'm not going to let you Usher and Justin Bieber me, like, going forward in the years. He didn't know that that's what the term for it was then. Oh, he definitely did. Who the hell does that? So if you take this out to the farthest point, you basically have Diddy still alive and making all the money while he set the chain of events in motion that unalived his alleged best friend, B.I.G., and prior to that, Tupac. So you go ahead, Diddy, and make all your stupid reality shows and create celebrities out of people who are really closer to Ashley Dupree than actual celebrities. J-Lo. Keep pretending you are this huge mogul. Oh, sure, you have lots of money and get to do it with people. I'm not going to read that out loud. Okay. But you also probably have to look over your shoulder all the time also, and that is probably going to become a frantic bob and a weave after this story becomes really widespread. Take care. And you know what was never taken down? That article. Alexa, play. I won't do it. Karma by Taylor Swift. Obviously, I had to stop crying about my main account to come here and do the blind item. The Diddy and J-Lo was fake blind item by none other than Kim Porter from 2007. And yes, his stuff is in his mom and kid's name. The house in LA is in his daughter's name, so looks promising. But that's with Diddy. There's been blind items for a few months now saying that he's been offloading all of his assets, putting them in his mom's name, putting them in his kid's name, putting them in offshore bank accounts. I don't know if anyone wants to let the Department of Homeland Security know to check the Cayman Islands and check his mom, because his mom is hiding all of his assets, allegedly non-real property. So real properties like real estate and stuff like that. Any of his cash or cash equivalents or investment securities, all that stuff allegedly went to his mom and then went to offshore bank accounts. It's not a good sign that Kim Porter refers to Diddy as Mr. Combs in her interviews. This is a guy who fathered her kids and who has been with her for at least 10 years, and she's calling him Mr. Combs. This is from 2007, okay? In the brief portion of the interview that was released early, Kim says that Diddy cheated on her, but it would only say that Sienna, and this is Sienna Miller, Sienna and Diddy were friends and that Sienna wasn't the cause of the breakup. Literally proof. Diddy takes Sienna home. 1/29/2007. Dude, Sienna Miller, by the way, I think she's Becky with the good hair. She literally gets with everyone, but they were at a MySpace party at Tao. That's so funny, actually. As far as J-Lo and Diddy goes, it seems as if Diddy and Kim were together the entire time he was with Jennifer Lopez. Now, I know people are giving, including myself, J-Lo shit for her horrible lip syncing and the $20 million she spent on a narcissism project. However, I will stop talking about all of that, J-Lo, if you speak up about Diddy. If you speak up about Diddy, you're the only one who hasn't. Okay, a quote from Kim Porter. Quote, "It was an embarrassment. I never thought it was real. I knew what was going on with him." Kim Porter didn't talk about Aubrey O'Day, but there are a lot of blind items suggesting something happened there. I hope, like, Aubrey loves to talk. I would love to hear
Well, she got killed. Somebody killed her. Somebody killed her recently.
her talk. Didn't she refuse to sign the NDA from Diddy? Maybe she's the one that's been talking to the FBI. Oh, one last hint, by the way, NAMBLA. I've been talking about them. I talked about them on my main account, even had to get rid of a blind item because I was so scared about speaking publicly about that. NAMBLA, that's one of Diddy's trafficking connections. Look into that. Look into that. Look into that. That's a big hint. Speaking of
How many claims have you done? 5. 5 claims. And totaling how much? Total about $500,000. And what's the biggest claim you've gotten so far? This one.
On a level like Diddy, you don't go to his parties either. Remember yesterday in this TikTok, I was like, Diddy's having the worst week ever, and he got sued and had to settle with Cassie for $20 million. Guess what, you guys? I am Nostradamus, because it literally is Diddy's worst week ever. Diddy's home's raided in connection with federal trafficking probe. Now, the bad news is, you guys, is that according to the blind items, he's known this was coming, and he's known this was coming for a few months now because he's been hiding assets, and his mommy's been helping him allegedly. Gonna let this one marinate for a second. Diddy's sons, King and Justin, are in cuffs. And when you harm other people's children, bad things happen to your own. And when your own kids harm other people's children. So 2 different homes were raided today. The coordinated raids were conducted in Los Angeles and Miami. So simultaneous raids. This is like giving that Narcos series on Netflix, by armed Department of Homeland Security agents, with local law enforcement assisting sources with the knowledge of the matter, told TMZ. And by the way, too, there's been a lot of blind items lately about like the tunnels coming from like LA and all of these like border cities, border states. I wonder if that has anything to do with it. So it is believed that these raids are tied up.
I hear them keep on mentioning them tunnels. I don't think what they're talking about. I know Hugh Hefner had tunnels coming from different other billionaires' houses to his and shit like that. I think he got Hugh Hefner house or something.
To the mounting allegations leveled against him. Justin, come on, Usher, now's your chance. Come forward. Let's put the cherry on top. And that's where, since Cassie, 3 additional women and 1 man have come forward and sued Diddy for allegations of this exact type of shit. 3 of the Jane Does and 1 John Doe had been interviewed by prosecutors in this investigation, which concerns trafficking, assault, and the solicitation and distribution of illegal narcotics and firearms.
Okay, so I thought I was having the worst day ever, but turns out Diddy is, and I feel a little bit better about that. I'm gonna go back to crying about my account though. This article also just dropped today. Diddy accused of dispatching his agents to harass Lil Rod's daughter following lawsuit. So you guys remember, Lil Rod is the only male victim that has publicly made allegations against Diddy and filed a lawsuit. And this is interesting that as his homes, all three of his homes are being raided. Okay, pictured here. This is his Star Island home in Miami with Homeland Security. Hey, boys. But this drops. A lawyer for Lil Rod has accused Diddy of concerning behavior following their client's recently headlined lawsuits. As reported in February, Rodney Lil Rod Jones Jr.'s $30 million lawsuit was the latest to name the Bad Boy Records founder, who was last year accused of rape and abuse in a quickly settled lawsuit from Cassie. Rod's allegations against Diddy include essay, with a rep having since denied the claims. So remember, Diddy's attorney, Sean Hawley. Hey, Sean Hawley, how's your day today? How's it going? Well, yeah, you guys having a great day over there? I hope not. Called the allegations against her client outlet. A woman? You're a woman and you represent this man? Oh my God, do better, woman. And accused Rod of lying. Quote, Lil Rod is nothing more than a liar who filed a $30 million lawsuit shamelessly looking for an undeserved payday. His reckless name dropping about events I feel like had something to do with this raid that are pure fiction and simply did not happen is nothing more than a transparent attempt to get Homeland Security to raid Diddy's homes. We have overwhelming, indisputable proof that his claims are completely true. I'm paraphrasing as I go. Our attempts to share this proof with Mr. Jones' attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, have been ignored because he's busy talking to Homeland Security and the FBI. I know that there are 3 women and 1 man that recently filed suits against Diddy. So again, you know, oh my God, I'm getting chills just thinking about her name. Cassie, not all.
I feel like that lawyer they got coached him on to doing that. So all this can happen. Them lawyers be knowing exactly what.
All heroes wear capes, but there are certain heroes and their name are motherfucking Cassie. Cassie, this would not have happened if it wasn't for Cassie. And what an amazing woman, Cassie.
Diddy on video pacing around airport after 2 federal raids. TMZ has the first video of Diddy after his homes were raided by the feds Monday. And instead of being in handcuffs and on the ground, the guy was kind of just walking around. So you guys, who else has heard that leaked Meek Mill audio? Yeah, I just experienced it shortly ago. There was a blind item about it. Very much allegedly. Yep, true. But that was a lot. Okay, back to the article. So TMZ alleges that this video is from 3 p.m. on Monday, 3 p.m. Pacific time on Monday, which is 6 p.m. Miami time. And that's where there's been some reporting discrepancies, or people have said that. So a couple hours after the raids at his homes got underway at the Miami Abalaca executive airport, where witnesses tell us Diddy and some other people got stopped by the feds. He's pacing around outside a customs office at the airport. He's not being in custody there. Instead of Diddy is just walking around all by him lonesome. So I don't understand why his 2 sons got arrested. They raided 3 of his homes. And Diddy is just going on vacation. What? Are you guys pulling an Epstein? Are you pulling an Epstein? Is he really in custody? I'm just kidding. Would that be funny? Yeah, I actually have a question about
Welcome to Flatiron School. This is where you learn how the future works, where the whole point of education is to get you a job and a career.
Diddy's son's arrest. Is this negotiations? Do you see that? So I Googled this, and doesn't it look like that? Here's another form of it. Right? What else would it say? You know? Because Diddy wasn't arrested. You know what I mean?
Man, boy, oh boy, did she know a lot. Now, Diddy wasn't her only victim. She exposed Jay-Z and speculated that he'll be in jail soon. Looks like she had a long list of people who would want her dead.
You want more, I'll give you more. By the way, before I forget, Jay-Z's Made in America Festival canceled for the 2nd year in a row. The permanent A-list rapper thought there would be a fair chance he would be in jail by the time Labor Day
And to think she came up dead for natural causes. Wow.
rolled around, so canceled his festival. Why does Jay-Z allegedly think that there is a fair chance he will be in jail by the time Labor Day has rolled around? We will find out soon because we are doing the Jay-Z Blind Deep Dive next on the Patreon. And now, woo! But anyway, that's the latest. But also, and I cannot stress this enough, Beyonce is not her husband. And she was also allegedly heavily groomed by Jay-Z. On a similar and mildly related to Jay-Z, but definitely Diddy note, by the way, okay, so Stevie J and 50 Cent have been fucking feuding, beefing on Instagram. Since Diddy's homes were raided, Stevie J just hit back at 50 by posting the...
Came out with this and said 50 Cent got shot 3 times. Remember, he kept on saying he got shot 9 times like Tupac.
Police report from his pew-pewing where he said he got pew-pewed 9 times. Stevie J. I love watching grown men fight. They are like, women don't do this. Only grown-ass men do that are gangsters, right? The girls are fighting. So this is the other picture. Uncle Tom lied to y'all. Ain't get hit no 9 times. Only took 3. Hot ones. Oh, Curtis. So anyway, but Stevie J has not really hit back yet, except he started to 13 minutes ago.
After her death, there were many speculations as to the cause of the death itself.
Kyle Marissa Roth followed me last week before she passed, and I was confused about it. And then today I found that she was beating colon cancer, and it makes sense why she followed me now. I just want to say 2 things. One, we don't know why she died yet, but if she has gone from this earth because someone other than colon cancer did this to her, 2, I will be fighting that battle for her. You want more? I'll give you more. Obviously, I'm not riding yet. The horses are still in the stable. We don't know what happened to her, but I'm just saying we might have to ride at dawn.
I think that Kyle would be losing her shit with the amount of coverage her death is getting from all over the country. Like every news house has reported on it. I do have an update as of today. So it appears as though Kyle was in Baltimore, Maryland. I thought she was from Pennsylvania, but she was with the medical examiner in Baltimore, Maryland. And they did confirm that the autopsy was conducted and it was finished, but her cause of death is pending a toxicology report, and it could take 60 to 90 days for that to be finalized. So unfortunately, we're not going to know for quite a while what the outcome is. I'm sure it will be reported on heavily. Continue speculating. I'm sure Kyle would have loved that. She would love the gossip. She would love the blinds about her. Let's hope it's nothing sinister. So yeah, I told y'all I would update you, so that's why I'm letting you know.
Is Jennifer Lopez responsible for Kyle Marissa Roth passing away? Because a lot of people are alleging that it's her fault. Now, if you guys remember, a few weeks ago, Kyle's account got banned, and there was a lot of speculation on why that happened. But according to this Forbes article, Jennifer Lopez was the reason why Kyle Marissa Roth's account got banned. Now, in this article, it states that several creators claim to have received copyright strikes from their TikTok accounts in response to their critical commentary on the greatest love story never told. Now, Kyle got it the worst because a lot of her TikToks contained footage from that project by J-Lo, and it was because of that her account got permanently banned. Now, this next part is key. Because her account got banned, she lost so much money from March, which affected her ability to access necessary medical care. Now, a lot of people didn't realize this, but she was living with colon cancer this whole time.
With millions of content creators across the globe, how do you find the right storytellers for your brand? Take the first step,
And I'm going to play you a clip where she talks about that a little bit and how she blames J-Lo for this.
Estimating that, quote, J-Lo has crossing more than 4 figures of income just for March 2024, unquote, which affects her ability to access necessary medical care. Yeah, I can't get a colonoscopy anytime soon. Can't afford it. And you guys already know I'm overdue. And I missed Colon Cancer Awareness Month, where I was going to use my 700,000 follower platform to talk about my experience. But, J. Lulu had a narcissistic meltdown. So that, she robbed me of everything. And if I die of colon cancer, it's on her.
Now, keep in mind, this is all alleged when it comes to J-Lo and Kyle Marissa Roth. But with this Forbes article that came out last month, and Kyle's video of her talking about J-Lo causing her unalivement, J-Lo is not looking good. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below.
And also, my brain's not 100%. But yes, somebody mentioned Kyle Marissa Roth. Let's talk about her. Sad. Especially for her family. You know, I try to be very sensitive about these things. However, you know, we can only speculate. So even speculating, I think, would normally be bad. But Kyle Marissa Roth was this creator who had a big following on TikTok, and all she did was speculate. And I was not a fan, okay? I'm not gonna be hypocritical. It's sad that she's dead. She's just 36 years old, but I did not like what she did. I did not respect what she did. All that she would do was read blind items that she didn't even write herself. Blind items, Nakia, are where you don't reveal the name of the person you're talking about. You're like, this A-lister or this famous musician, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Anyways, her family has said that they don't know a cause of death, which that's where the speculation comes in, right? She's 36 years old. If she had been battling depression, I would like to think her family was aware of that. If she had been battling anorexia, I would like to think her family was aware of that. But it's possible that she could have kept both of those hidden from them.
Her death has also been speculated to be an overdose. Now, that's a very convenient speculation, if you ask me.
Okay, guys, this is going to blow your mind. I was just going through all of Kyle's videos, and I found this video that she has been taking this sleep medication that just so happens to have this in it. So this is what she said she was taking, tranquil sleep, okay? 5-HTP, suntheanine, and melatonin. But the 5-HTP is what we need to focus on. Okay, so EMS, okay, is what can be caused by 5-HTP, okay? The NIH warns of possible danger in taking 5-HTP, stating in 2015 some people who have taken it have come down with, I can't say it, they call it EMS. What's EMS? So EMS is a rare condition that affects your muscles, skin, and lungs. Common symptoms include muscle pain, skin rash, breathing problems. Severe symptoms can be life-threatening. Look at this video.
I've also had multiple stomach surgeries, so I have absorption issues. So sometimes taking capsule pill form doesn't actually go into my system. I just end up, goes up the other end. The chewable kind, it's by Stress Relax, Tranquil Sleep, 5-HTP, suntheanine, and melatonin. Dosage is 2 pills. I'm not gonna lie, I take 10 pills a night.
Wow.
But that fucking works.
Yeah, so you just saw that. She's taking 10 a night, okay? That was on April 4th. I don't know how many she was taking before then or how long she's been taking it, but seeing how she was dealing with, colon cancer and health problems, stuff like that, this could possibly be the reason why. And also her autopsy has come back, but they need to do a toxicology report to see what exactly happened.
This is FTMO. and it's a trading firm that funds traders. If you're 18 or older, you can take their tests, and if you pass their tests, they'll give you funded accounts of up to $100,000 or more to generate profits with. And you get to keep 80% of the profits. But here's the kicker. We have a way to get access to that capital with
27 years after rapper Tupac Shakur was shot to death in a car in Las Vegas, a man who confessed to his involvement in the crime is behind bars.
Who shot Tupac?
I keep it for the code of the streets. It just came from the backseat, bro.
Do you feel like Puffy owe you?
Yeah, he should. I think he should look out. He look out for everybody fucking else.
You know, we don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there.
Keefe D, the man who's been bragging about being involved in Tupac's death for years, has finally been arrested. But it looks like this is just the tip of the iceberg, because Keefe previously confessed that Diddy masterminded the whole thing and paid him $1 million to take out both Pac and Suge Knight. And according to the latest reports, Keefe might be preparing to snitch on Diddy. Diddy is said to be panicking right now because the rumored connections he had within law enforcement are no longer there. And I feel like there is going to be a bigger story connected to Diddy soon. So could Diddy really go down with Keefe D for Tupac's murder? Let's break it down.
If you could say anything to Puffy after everything you did for him, what would you say to him?
I'm still here, bro. Still waiting.
There has been a major development in the mystery of the 1996 incident that took away the life of the late, great Tupac Shakur, when a man who prosecutors allege played a role in orchestrating the incident was arrested and formally charged with murder in Las Vegas. Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, who has been on investigators' radar for quite some time as one of the 4 initial suspects, has been identified as the mastermind of the group, according to authorities. Keefe, who is currently 60 years old, was taken into custody while he was out for a stroll close to his residence on the outskirts of Las Vegas. The arrest took place just hours before prosecutors made an announcement in court revealing that a Nevada grand jury had issued an indictment against him for 1 count of murder with a deadly weapon. He is scheduled to appear in court next week. The jury has also decided to include a sentencing enhancement related to gang activity, and if Keefe is found guilty, this enhancement could potentially result in an additional 20 years being added to his sentence. And while Keefe is not the alleged shooter who fired the deadly shots at Tupac, Nevada law allows for individuals to be charged with a crime if they assist in its commission. So during the search conducted at Keefe's residence, authorities confiscated multiple electronic devices, such as hard drives, tablets, and laptops, as well as documents related to TV programs, documentaries, YouTube episodes, book manuscripts, and movies that revolved around Tupac's passing. Among the items seized were a copy of Vibe magazine featuring Pac and a book titled Compton Street Legend, which Keefe had co-authored. Police interest in Keefe reportedly stemmed from his appearance in the Netflix documentary series Unsolved and the subsequent release of his book, Compton Street Legend, a year later. In both the documentary and the book, Keefe suggested that he had been inside the car with the individual responsible for Pac's murder. Now, during the initial investigations, Keefe denied any involvement and had been cleared of all charges. However, in the documentary and book, he made insinuations about the events surrounding the murder. Also, back in July 2019, Keefe acknowledged his role in the passing of Tupac in an interview on Vlad TV and confirmed that he had been the passenger in the white Cadillac on the night of the incident. And though he refused to name the identities of the other individuals in the car, he confirmed that the shooter was Orlando Anderson, his nephew. He also mentioned that the shooting was in retaliation for an earlier altercation at the MGM Grand, where Tupac and his crew jumped Orlando.
Come on, Flamingo, and got to the light. He's gonna go drink.
The thing is, see, everybody only see that part, and they look at it like, oh, Tupac and them had a fight, and then they went back and killed Tupac, but nobody don't know that they was bodyguards for Bad Boy. Puff Daddy had already offered them $1 million to kill Tupac and Suge Knight. You know what I'm saying? So just so happened they had to fight. They had Tupac and them at the fight, and they have a fight.
Yeah. Weed, and he happened to be hanging out the window. He's hanging out the window like he was in a parade.
Tupac.
Yeah, he was.
So what happens next?
And we just came and shit. I ain't gonna go into details like that, you know what I'm saying? But you know, you got it in a book. You done played it, everything else, you know what I'm saying?
But something that police are still not talking about, at least not publicly, is that Keefe also previously said that Diddy offered $1 million to the Southside Crips to take out Pac and Death Row Records CEO, Suge Knight. Former LAPD detective Greg Kading, who worked on the cases of both Tupac and Biggie Smalls, also previously publicly stated that the investigators had evidence that Diddy paid Keefe $1 million to take out Pac and Suge.
He's been saying that. The detective been saying this since the beginning of all this shit.
In fact, there's a recording of Keefe.
The shit that he going through right now, you think they ain't looking for shit that got disconnected to him? Yes, but they guess what? They either not putting it in the media or he keeping it out the media. When you got money like that, you can keep certain shit from the media. They coming at him all different angles, but he probably keeping that out of the media the most.
Confessing this to the investigators years ago.
So Tupac's trying to jump in the back seat. And what Suge doing? Just ducking? Ducking. He couldn't really duck because he was too big, you know? Yeah.
Keefe D has now identified his own nephew as the murderer of Tupac Shakur.
Bolstering Keefe D's claim was an informant in 1997 who told investigators that Puffy had hired the Southside Crips to kill both Suge and Tupac.
Now, it's unclear why it took them 27 years to arrest Keefe, considering his confession and the fact that he's been willingly and openly talking about his involvement on every podcast that would have him. Well, the internet and its theories on this and fans are speculating that the authorities wanted to make sure Keefe would be willing to snitch on the real alleged mastermind, Sean Diddy Combs. So for the longest time, the prevailing theory was that Pac was eliminated because he and his crew beat up Southside Crip and Keefe D's nephew Orlando Anderson after that Mike Tyson fight in Vegas, and that all these other stories about Diddy and Biggie were just conspiracy theories. Many people believe that when Diddy said he was putting a $1 million bounty on Tupac, he was just trying to stir the pot, and then Keefe D later used this to implicate Diddy in Pac's case.
Don't none of that shit matter because they don't look at it like that in a court. They don't give a fuck. You talking about some putting a hit on somebody for $1 million? You was just trying to stir the pot. They ain't hearing that shit in court.
Now, Orlando and Keefe both knew Diddy and Biggie and did security for them. And the reason Diddy would use Keefe D
I was just playing. Get the fuck out of here. Somebody killed him then.
As security was because Diddy was allegedly convinced he was one of the few Compton shot callers that Suge would not F with. Now, the reason Tupac jumped Orlando is because Orlando reportedly stole a Death Row medallion from Trevon Lane, a Death Row affiliate and alleged gang member. And the reason he stole it was because Diddy apparently wanted a Death Row chain to taunt Suge with in his next music video.
That is another thing that nobody don't know. He had already paid them to go get a Death Row chain. So he had already paid people. He was sending them at Death Row, period.
So Tupac's murder could have been just a random act of violence that went wrong. And yet it's possible that this case is a lot less complicated than people are making it because gang members take out others for a lot less. But there are still many fans who are convinced none of this was random. And they believe that when Diddy offered
it's not random because he had already paid them. Before he put the $1 million ransom on him, he already had a ransom on him for a chain. So
$1 million to Keefe to take out Suge and Pac, he wasn't joking around. Now, when Keefe D talked about all this in interviews, he always made it sound like Diddy was just spouting off and that they didn't take it super serious.
He even said in one of his interviews that Puff Daddy P. Diddy called him, and when Tupac got shot, P. Diddy called him and said, "Is that us?"
Seriously. But now that Keefe has been arrested and charged, people are speculating that the authorities may have finally discovered a paper trail connecting Diddy's $1 million offer to Tupac's case. Keefe also previously said he never received the $1 million because he never got to talk to Diddy after Pac's murder. So the whole story about Diddy
finding the perfect home
No,
at a good
no,
price
guess
in
what?
Milwaukee right now is like finding a needle in the haystack.
He might have
Because
had.
after
He might did.
prices
Well,
and
he
interest
probably
rates
did
have
though.
gone
That's
up,
probably why he was
people
going
can
through all
trick
those.
you into
But yeah, he
overpaying.
might have did.
The way most people
I was gonna say
the bounty on Pac's head was just
I was gonna say he probably didn't say that. He probably didn't want to say that he got the $1 million because You know, then that really put him like, he probably felt like he was gonna go to jail for getting paid for doing. But I feel like he didn't get it. That's why he came. He saw people talking about this shit on interviews, and then he was like, man, people talk about my story and shit like that. So he went to the interviews. It was not only that he wanted to speak the story, he wanted to get paid. He didn't go to those interviews for free. They pay you to go to those interviews and say that shit because they know people want to tune in. People want to hear that.
To he said, she said with no actual proof. But see, there is apparently evidence that Diddy gave the money to an intermediary, Eric Von Zip, and Keefe said Von Zip used the bounty money to open a nightclub instead of passing it to the Southside Crips. Again, until now, all of this was just another story, and the police probably couldn't find any real proof that Diddy's offer of $1 million directly led to Tupac's death. But as I said, it's very interesting that they snatched Keefe now, and it really makes you wonder if they have something up their sleeve that could lead to Diddy's downfall. Also, have you noticed there have been some pretty weird vibes around Diddy for the past few months or so? I remember seeing a tweet about a month ago where this person said that something was going to come out soon about Diddy because Diddy was giving his former Bad Boy artists their publishing rights, and he reportedly made them all sign NDAs in exchange for their masters. Now, as for Diddy, he never actually addressed Keefe's allegations, and when he was asked about this on The Breakfast Club, he said he didn't even want to entertain.
Wow. So that's what he did. I know he gave the publishing back, but he made them sign them agreements because he knew people was going to start coming out. And if he didn't do that, guess what? It would have been more people coming out. Wow. Smart man.
The nonsense.
Now it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there with all due respect, but I appreciate you as a journalist asking. Thank you.
Because you listen, 7 years ago, I'd have been like, yo, did you hire somebody to kill Pac? But no, you do it like a journalist.
Yeah. No, I mean, we wouldn't even get into nonsense like that. You know what I'm saying? It's nonsense.
Which we never believed, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
But I don't know, y'all. Diddy didn't even let Charlamagne finish the question. He cut him off so quickly. And then the way he was rubbing his head nonstop. Anyways, guys, it's going to be really interesting to see what comes up in Keefe D's trial. And you already know I'll keep you posted on everything. In the meantime, check out what the internet is saying about Diddy's alleged connection to Tupac's case. One person said, if they charge Diddy in Tupac's murder, that would be the greatest day on this app. My phone actually might catch fire. But another fan wrote, not y'all waiting on the downfall of Diddy, LMFAO. I just don't see this happening. They would be trying to convict strictly off hearsay at this point. But let me know how y'all feel about this. Do you think Diddy could actually go down for Pac's murder? Comment down below and don't miss out on this next video.
Man, them people be making shit happen. And Keefe D, guess what? When they have a credible witness, that's all they be needing.
I don't understand what I'm supposed to say when there's nothing written down from
They actually did. They gave me this.
EPD is credible. You know a lot.
That says 0 sugar, great taste, yum.
That's why I signed you. They got a credible. They got somebody.
For Comedy Hype News, I'm John Alba. Eddie Griffin has debuted his new show on NNN TV, Nigga News Network, where he's exposing media distractions and hidden agendas. For the first episode, Griffin has decided to focus on the case of Sean Diddy Combs, claiming that the raids that took place at his Miami and Los Angeles homes last month were staged and Diddy himself was tipped off.
Diddy is on the run. He jumped on a jet, paused in Miami, and the feds were there in Miami. Somebody tipped this brother off, because how did he just happen to be on a plane the day before they gonna raid his property? He got an inside man there at the Federal Bureau of Homeland Security. One of them motherfuckers. Now he must have zailed every last one of them feds $10 million each, because they let him get back on the plane to Antigua. They just gonna raid a man's properties, but not raid him. They raid a nigga's property, they coming to get you too. I don't know how this man's still on the loose, but you know, he got the dough. And he got to know. If it's really just a quick, fast hit on the motherfucker's property, nigga, you ain't gonna call the press and say we about to hit Puffy's crib. You're just gonna hit the crib. And they just gonna have to hear about that through the grapevine and rush down there as quick as they can. But no, we seen the aerial shot of them driving up and arriving at this motherfucker's crib. Somebody's behind it, and somebody's way up the ladder. And I think that ladder is the head of Universal Music Group. See, he called in his favors from his friends.
Now, Griffin would also wonder why Diddy's sons were left at the house, leaving them to be placed in handcuffs. Griffin was asked why they couldn't get on the plane with their father. Griffin's larger question was centered around the media, asking what they're covering up. According to Griffin, the media decided to focus on reporting Diddy as opposed to the cargo ship that crashed into the Baltimore Bridge. Not only that, but Griffin would also reveal his true thoughts on why this is all happening now.
Clive Davis, yeah, that's the monster. And the head of Universal Music Group, he's put Diddy up, and they sacrificed Diddy. They said, nigga, you gotta take this shit. We can't be involved. But Diddy's smart. He filmed every session. He was fucking Clive and the motherfucking freak boy that run Universal Music Group. Now that's why they raiding the house, because they got friends in Homeland Security and the feds. And they said, get in there and get them tapes from this nigga. He trying to blackmail us. That's what I believe is going on.
I said that.
Now you can see a part of Griffin's response was that he would listen to a report on the raids while poking holes in the story. To Griffin, it was clear that this incident was staged. One big reason being is that the media and press were present for the event. After listening to the report, Griffin's consensus was this was all too conveniently staged. Why do you take them out of the house in handcuffs so you could get an aerial shot of that scene? How did they know to have the camera ready? Were some of the questions that Griffin would have. He would also make sure to note that he didn't see this much manpower for the Epstein case and say that no one was reported to be on that list is currently under investigation.
See, they covering up their whole shit on that Epstein bullshit. Diddy got to take the fall for all that shit. So now, smoke and mirrors, it's the freaky niggas, not the freaky white people. You had some niggas over there on Epstein Island too, but no, this is all niggas over here. And now, clean up the white shit.
As we all know, Griffin has always been known for his conspiracy theories, and like Cat Williams, has dedicated his career to exposing uncomfortable truths in Hollywood, regardless of the consequences. So what do you guys think of Eddie Griffin's comments on the Diddy case? Do you think Eddie Griffin is right? Let's talk about it more in the comments below. Plus, save the day for the latest news and comment, subscribe here to our YouTube channel, and check out hypersclub.com if you want to join our memberships and get more exclusive content and things that don't drop here on YouTube. For Comedy Hype News, I'm John Alba.
What's up, family? It's Symphony Thompson, the official host of the Comedy Hype.
Suge just ducked his head, and the first bullet went in his head, so the next one's hit him. It was like he was doing a breakdance trying to jump in the back seat or something.
You've all already heard the news that Keefe D was arrested. Let us, in this video, talk about who Keefe D is and how he is connected to Tupac's murder, and why Puff Daddy should be afraid for his future. After all, according to the words of the protagonist of our video, Tupac's murder is also partly because of the founder of Bad Boy Records. Everything that will be said next is quoted from Keefe D's interview and autobiography. Generally speaking, Keefe D, whose real name is Dwayne Davis, is a member of the Southside Compton Crips gang, which was involved in drug dealing. In the early 90s, he got to know a gangster called Eric Von Zip Martin, who was from the East Coast. People in his circle just called him Zip. Actually, it was Zip himself who introduced him to Sean Puffy Combs. Zip and Puffy were very close friends at that time. For Keefe D, Puffy was just a regular guy who was just starting out with his business. However, nowadays he hates him and genuinely regrets ever meeting the guy he calls a bastard. After meeting for the first time, Puffy and Keefe D reconnected with one another after a couple of months regarding renting a car for the artist Usher for the music video Can You Get With It? Puff paid Keefe $2,400 for the car. In the summer of '95, Zip came through the neighborhood and invited Keefe D to a party hosted by Puff, calling it the Beat Summer Jam. Suge Knight was at the party, and according to Keefe's opinion, Suge was already jealous of Puffy because of how well things were going for him at the time. Suge asked him where he knows them from, and he said, just like everyone else, from drug dealing. After that, the most epic Source Awards event took place, where Suge said,
any artist out there want to be an artist and want to stay a star, don't have to worry about the executive producer trying to be all in the videos, all on the record, dancing. Come to Death Row.
These words completely destroyed the friendly relationship between Bad Boy Records and Death Row Records. However, the most intense shit happened on the 23rd of September 1995 at a party in Atlanta between the two enemy labels. Suge Knight confronted Puff Daddy and used physical power against him. Keith Murray said that Puff received a powerful slap from Suge.
And then Suge was like, yo, you all right? And Puffy was there. Then all of a sudden I saw Suge. Pow! Smack the dog shit out of Puffy.
And here is Reggie Wright Jr. saying that it wasn't that dramatic.
But he did grab him by his collar and was blaming Puffy that night.
And anyway, this fight led to the murder of Suge Knight's close friend, Big Jake.
He was a good friend of him. He was a very good friend. You see them together often. And I think Suge trusted him a lot.
It's difficult to say who committed the murder. However, at the time, the entire mass media said that it was someone from Bad Boy Records' side. After this event, Puff called Zep, who asked him to put Keefy D on the line, and then told him, your boy, Big CEO, he's tripping. Naturally, these words were aimed at Suge Knight. Keefy D said that Puff was so scared that he hired ex-Navy SEALs wearing earpieces like they worked for the CIA in the hotel room right next to his suite.
And I'm scared of the big boy. I mean, you know, he didn't say it in that type of words, but we went to the concert. It was in San Diego, and this nigga had fucking Navy SEALs in the next room. They looked like the FBI with earpieces and everything.
Then there was the meeting between Zip and Puff at a strip club. They were later joined by Keefy D himself. From there was the proposal that he would receive $1 million for the murder of Suge and Pac.
Even if he wasn't serious about it, but he did say that wrong.
It was floating in there. I'll just say that.
Plus, Puffy trying to see me weak, hearts I rip. Biggie Smalls and Junior Mafia, some mark-ass bitches.
This diss track from Tupac really pissed Puff Daddy off. In turn, Keefy D saw Pac a few times, and he appeared like a good guy to him. However, a little later, during one of the concerts, Tupac had to explain himself for the lines he read from the song California Love.
Worldwide, let them recognize from Long Beach to Rosecrans.
Some Southsiders were up at the House of Blues on Sunset, and they ran into Tupac. He was up there with Big Syke from the Outlaws. One of the members of the gang went up and grabbed Tupac by the collar and pushed him against a wall and said, "Man, you know what that Long Beach and Rosecrans stand for?" Later came the moment which led to Tupac later attacking Orlando Anderson. One of Keefy D's friends, called Victor, was one of the main high school footballers who was heading to college. And so, Keefy told him they want to give him a proper send-off before he leaves. While Victor was at the mall, he ran into 3 Pyrus gang members who were down with Death Row's crew. People from the Pyrus gang were beating up Victor at the mall. That same time, people from the Southsiders gang entered the mall. They didn't know that Victor is a member of the gang. When Victor saw that his allies had entered the mall, he told the people beating him up that now the real battle begins. Victor knocked out one of them and grabbed the Death Row Records chain. Trip to the store had to be canceled. That fight changed the rap game once and for all. On the 7th of September, 1996, Keefy D and his guys attended the Mike Tyson match, just as Tupac and his own guys were at the game. After the match, they headed to the prearranged meeting place, where they waited for about 15 minutes. Little by little, everybody started showing up except for his nephew. Next, Keefy D was told that someone had attacked his nephew. They came to find out later, the same dude from the Lakewood Mall that got his chain snatched was walking with Tupac when they saw Baby Lane in the lobby of the MGM. They rushed up out of the cafe and went to find Baby Lane, who was actually Orlando Anderson.
Making a text-only design used to take hours of hard work trying to figure out how to get the right adjustment. With our simple one-click text transformations,
They saw him inside the MGM minutes after they had jumped him. By the time they got there, Suge, Pac and their crew had already left. Baby Lane's shoulder was a little messed up, but other than that, he was all right. When Keefe D asked him what happened, he said, "Death Row guys rushed me. One of them guys from the Lakewood Mall was running with the boy that started that shit." He couldn't let that go. For him, it was seriously humiliating that some guys from the music industry had beaten up his nephew. What's more is that Puff had already asked for help, and that Suge had absolutely not appreciated the help that he had received in founding the label. So they decided to take revenge. They knew that Suge and Pac were heading down the 662. While they were waiting for the valet to bring out their cars, Zip seized the opportunity and called Keefe D over to his Benz. As he walked up to the driver's side window, he noticed that Foxy Brown was in the car with Zip. So Zip instructed her to step out of the car and motioned for him to jump in. Zip had a hidden compartment that he opened up, reached in, and pulled a black 40 Glock out. He turned to Keefe and said, "It's time to get the money." Keefe D hopped out of the car, held the door open for Foxy Brown to get back in, closed the door, and they pulled off. At the beginning, him and his guys waited for them for an hour and a half. However, no one showed up, and Keefe D said that it was time to head out. Their next destination was the Carriage House, a Las Vegas hotel where they had rented a few rooms as a kickback spot. On the way to the Carriage House, they stopped by the liquor barn to buy some bottles of Dom Perignon Rosé, and Cristal. As they were driving to the liquor barn, it became evident that the guys in the van with Davis were worried that Suge would get some of his police hitmen to come back and try to kill them if they went after them. It really pissed off Keefe, because why would they start it all if they were actually afraid? And so, he sat in the other guy's white Cadillac so he can go chill. He pulled out the Glock that Zip had given him and tossed it in the back seat. Bubble Up did the driving. Baby Lane and Freaky were riding in the back. A few blocks down, they were sitting at the light. And guess who they saw? The Death Row Caravan hit the corner with Tupac hanging out of the window of a black luxury BMW waving to his fans. If Pac hadn't been hanging out of the car, they would have never seen it. As they sat in traffic, they slowly rolled past the long line of luxury cars they had in their caravan, looking into each one until they pulled up to the front vehicle and found who they were seeking. Like two rams locking horns, Suge and Keefe D looked each other dead in the eye. Their eyes locked. The terrified expression on Suge's face read, "Damn, it's them." Pac pulled out a strap, and that's when the fireworks started. One of Davis's guys from the backseat grabbed the Glock and started busting back. The first shot skinned Suge in his head. Keefe D heard stories claiming that Suge actually hid behind Tupac, but they're not true, and Suge was the first to get injured. After this incident, they hung out as if nothing had happened. They left the Cadillac, and the gun was hidden in one of the wheels of the car. The next day, they came back to get the car, and the gun was gone. Greg Kading, who was investigating the murder, said that after the shootout, Puff called Keefe D.
And Keefe D, I'm sorry, Puffy asked him, "Man, was that us? Was it, just happened out there?" Keefe D's like, "Yeah, that's us."
But the most interesting part is that there is some information going around saying that Puff had paid Zip $1 million to kill Pac, but that the money was never shared with Keefe D.
If he gave the money, Puffy will be in prison now, money for hire.
The FBI said
So the FBI told you the
he
same
was a
thing.
dirty motherfucker, yeah.
So the FBI told you that Zip kept that money as
They
well.
said Zip's a dirty motherfucker. Everybody crossed you.
Now, it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah. Check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother.
It's also worth saying that he confessed that Suge paid $60,000 to his nephew so that Orlando can testify in court that Suge didn't attack him. However, that didn't help the boss of Death Row Records one bit. Suge was sentenced to 9 years behind bars. What do you think about this situation? What awaits Keefe D and Puff Daddy? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe to the channel, and see you soon.
tell them better already know. Money over bitches, better know how it goes. Streets don't love nobody, it's real cold. Many niggas tell on you to get let go. Better know any given time it can get out of control. Better know if you ain't right, you gon' get left, you better know. If you ain't representing the mob, then you can't go. Better know we gon' secure that bag. Better know I'm gon' humbly show my ass. Better know I know you ain't seeing y'all real past. Better know I stay on my shit every day like a top. Better know you a bad bitch, you a nigga in the street. Better know what come with it. Better know I sacrifice for this shit. Better know I put some ice on this shit. Better know what you know, never let go. Put your feet up on the gas and put that bitch to the floor. Better know.